All right, so if you spend a lot of time on the internet, I'm thinking you've probably run into what we call a troll. Not the kind from Lord of the Rings, not the little guys. These are internet trolls that like to just really say negative things about no matter what you post to kind of get a reaction out of you. Well, now researchers in Australia are trying to find out the psychology behind those trolls. So this study looked at 415 people, and they answered a range of questions to kind of gauge how much sympathy they have, how much sadism they have, and how much of a psychopath they are.
Okay.
It's just quaint.
Normal
Sure.
questions, sure.
For instance, one of the questions was, to what extent do you agree with the statement, people would enjoy hurting others if they gave it a go? Like, come on, give it a try.
I mean, if you think about it, if there were no consequences, I think people would probably
Really?
enjoy
You don't believe in
No,
karma?
I don't think people would. I would hope they wouldn't.
I would hope they would.
Well, you would hope they wouldn't, but who here on the panel, raise your hand if you have been the target of an internet troll just in the past week?
Not the past week.
Past week, probably not, but
Okay.
often enough.
Weather
yeah.
guys often attract that
Weather
kind of
guys
stuff.
get it,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So the
When sometimes you find yourself on the edge, right, Mike, where you feel like you could easily get into an argument, or you see someone post like a straw man argument, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go attack that.
I'm going to prove to the internet how smart I am.
Right.
Yes.
And that always goes over well.
Never good.
What the research ended up finding is that trolls do understand that the emotions they're going to evoke in their targets are negative.
Okay.
But what they don't do in many cases is go the next step to say, okay, if that was coming my way, I would feel bad. So making that connection between what I say will make this person feel bad and, oh, that's not how I would want to feel, they seem to not be able to do that. And they also tend to be a little more psychopathic in that they get this little thrill out of the idea of needling somebody.
Like wanting to be right, or, you know?
Just drawing a
Getting
reaction.
that reaction.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting, Kate? Because I would have thought that research on trolls would find that they don't fully understand that their actions are really hurting people. But they do understand it. They do detect emotion.
And they manipulate
I
you.
guess I think a lot about politics and what I see on Facebook, and oftentimes people act like they are trying to educate someone by their trolling. Oh, like, you don't know what you're talking about. So that does surprise me, because I always feel like they're coming from a place of, no, I don't know how it's going to make them feel. I'm going to show them, or I'm going to tell them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the study does not address how to react to them.
Great.
But I think, given the fact that it does prove that these trolls want that reaction and get a little charge out of that reaction, probably the best thing to do is the hardest thing to do, which is just not respond at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or hide them on Facebook, like
Yeah.
you do to your trolls.
Yeah.
Who are your trolls, Kate?
I'd rather not say.
919.
I might be
Time to
related
check
to
the
them,
weather.
but,
might
you
be
know.
related. They might be watching.
They
You
might
never
be
know.
watching.
If you can't...
Love you, Mom.
But is the opposite true? Does Mom love you? Yes.
Oh,
she
yeah,
loves
she
you.
does. I love my mother. When she emails me later today.
This is trouble. This is trouble. I'm going to be
critiques
quiet.
because she
Let's
cares.
move on. What
I
are
think
we
you're
moving on
trolling
to?
your mom is what just happened there.
Oh, I love my mom.
I think I'm trolling Kate's mom.
Put up
None
some
of that is
graphics.
fair.
What is
Can we
happening?
put up some
Okay.
graphics?
Oh, weather, yeah.